Welcome to Reaper Suburban Homestead. I'm your boy Reaper. It is Wednesday. Um, Currently 53 degrees. The high today is supposed to be 83, and the low supposed to drop back down to 53. There's a 0% chance of rain in my area today. It's Wednesday, Worm Being Wednesday. So I'm gonna go out and play with some worms, I guess. Let's see where we at. We got some stuff moved around. The queen came out and organized some disorganization. She moved some of her herbs and stuff around. Look at that. Look at that pineapple has a tomato clone. That all comes from the folks. Anyway, everything's looking good. Quick little scan before we run off the porch. The tea of the day is the same tea as yesterday. 2 vanilla spices and 1 echinacea immune support. I started drinking my tea early. I'm almost through with my tea today. And here we have some worm stuff. Let's see if I can carry all this. We got some worm stuff. And that's some bedding material and some food. Alright. It's time to get the yard man back over here. Alright. We also have some worm tea brewing, which I used today. I also halfway filled that barrel yesterday with just regular water so it can off gas the chlorine, just in case I don't have enough rain or water. They have to get fed, and I don't want to use city water. I done took the time to make some compost tea and stuff, so we'll see how everything fires out. Look at this compost tea. Somebody come look at this stuff. I want to say it looks good, but let's grab something so we can see what it looks like. Yeah, color of tea. Oh, there you go. There go the shot. Sudden kiss. Let me quit. All right, that looks good. We'll get around to that today. I don't know if we're gonna get to it on stream, but quick walkthrough before we start playing with. Look at this. I can't see the spider web thing, y'all. Barely. Y'all can see one of the lines going there. This one here yesterday. I was walking all through here yesterday. Spider did that last night. Everything's looking all right. I sprayed the entire garden yesterday with neem oil, the weekly treatment for it. I started to do that once a week since I started noticing some aphids. I've been seeing them here and there. So like right here. See if I can get this to focus. See them two little light colored dots above my thumb? Right next to the left of those water drops, those are 2 aphids. We're gonna go ahead and rub them off. Now a good way to control aphids is just to spray them off with water. I prefer neem oil. So I'm gonna have to come back. I sprayed these yesterday. Come back and spray them again. Check the weather. Spray them again. I do inspect my plants. I mean, that's why I'm out here a lot. So I'm looking, but I'm also trying to teach as I'm looking, trying to let you guys know what I'm looking for as opposed to just see me looking. You see me stop at a plant, look at a plant. I'm always checking the undersides of the leaves because most of your pests are gonna hang out on the bottom sides of the leaves because water doesn't fall up. You get what I'm saying? It's hard to get up under there and get to them. But okay, that's looking good. So I just kind of spot check them. If I see any damage, I had to verify that. Did that damage come from? That look like some aphids. Take care of that. Did that damage come from aphids or did that damage come from falling needles, falling pine needles? Let's see. Lucy's looking good. That's not blind, y'all. It's not blind. A lot of new growth from Lucy. That's looking good from where I made the cut. I don't know. Maybe beginning of next month we'll check these to see if they start producing any roots just yet. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Some carrots, some celery, and some beets that I transplanted Monday, I think. Unknown tomatoes, strawberries, blackberries, some broccoli. Oh, let me show y'all. Let me show y'all my broccoli. I got a broccoli head. I don't know if I'm gonna get more than one, but I got one. Potatoes are looking good. Get out of that. You don't belong in there. Those are the New Orleans red, Yukon gold, strawberries. Quick peek, quick peek. All right, just just trying to be real quick with it. This is gonna need some water. These need to be watered just about every day. When you start to have to water things every day, that means they're in a pot that's too small. It needs some more room. Need more soil to hold more water. Need to put these marigolds in the ground somewhere too. Everything else is looking alright. Basil is not basil. Chocolate mint is looking good. Some dill, more dill. Sweet Italian basil, purple basil, Genovese basil. Catnip. Next week we picking some more collard greens. Yeah. Don't worry, you'll be getting your first picking in a little bit. Oh, and look at this romaine. It's time to go ahead and grab these romaine. I was asking the queen why we keep buying lettuce if we got romaine ready. She said, well, the way I work, if it ain't in the kitchen, I ain't got to cook. so so that means I gotta go harvest and put it in the kitchen so she can use it. I said, that's fair. That's fair. I would want her to tell me and then I go get it, but you know, hey, that's fair. I can't say no. If it ain't in the kitchen, she don't know we have it. She can go buy it. That makes sense to me. I can work with that. Tomatoes are getting tall. All right. Look at my regular. Ooh, I love regular. Face plant. Face palm. Look at the carrots. The carrots. You know what? We haven't done is actually tried to look down and see what the carrots look like. I've seen the tops, showed you guys the tops, but I haven't actually. My nieces get up in here, so it must be something to see. Cause they keep asking. Then again, the tops are enough for them to see. They'll ask. Ain't really. Okay, so that look like that's gonna be like a red carrot maybe, cause it's like a rainbow mix of carrots. We'll keep waiting. All right. Here's the piece they resistance. Look at my head of broccoli. I'm not gonna look at that broccoli. I'm not gonna look at that broccoli. All right. Now the rest of these, I'm gonna be free. I think these are starting to boat. I don't know. I've never grown them, but I don't know how tall broccoli is supposed to get. I thought about 3 or 4 feet. That's close in the three. That's close to the 3 foot mark. But I don't know. I've been seeing little flower heads, and I've been popping them off like this. This should be a head of broccoli, I think, but it looks like it's gonna be a flower head. And that's probably because these grow better in the fall time in this part of the world. So we'll see. You want another potato? Seen the baby grow potatoes easy. Another one right there. It's another one in that compost bin on the other side of that black bucket. That stack of buckets. But anyway, all right, done. Done with that. Now let's see. We got a couple of worm bins to choose from. We gon' I'm gonna put on some gloves first. At least one. Cause I wanna stick my hands in there. Put this one closer. Guess what hand I grabbed? The right hand. Why? Because I'm a genius. I'm a genius. Oh, leaf mold. Sorry for shaking y'all around. Looking for good. Growth. We got growth. I ain't looking for growth, but we got growth. It's like grass. Ain't none of this stuff in here gonna live. I mean, I don't know why I'm letting it. That's just because that's me. I want to know what it is. I want to get old enough until I need to get some from that spot. That stuff looks good. Okay, get out there, boy. All right, first worm bin. Let's see what we're looking like. What we looking like? I dumped it. I dumped it. Did I just say I dumped it? I dumped. My bad. Hold on. I'm still laughing at myself. I dumped the remnants of a SCOBY. I used to make kombucha, which is a fermented tea, and I quit paying attention to it. And the SCOBY, which is um, actually the pellicle from the SCOBY, I threw in here some of the old liquid. SCOBY stands for symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. That's what you use to ferment the tea to make kombucha. It's about time I start back. I'm gonna start spending money on it. Me and one of the boys loved it. Saw a couple of worms in him. Should have pointed them out before I just started digging. That was a red worm. Hope you guys, I don't know if you guys can see that. You can see it now. Let's put them back in some shade. That looks good. You know what? This stuff is looking pretty good. Some of this stuff I could use. Now, granted, let's be for real. I couldn't sell this stuff. You would want it broken down more, and I would have to sift it. But I just see red worms moving around, and that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, look at them. You don't see them? Somebody come look at these worms. Somebody come look at these worms. This one here seems to be doing pretty well. It's a big material here. Now, honestly, if I wasn't a home gardener, I wouldn't start with material this big. It wouldn't be a whole lot of pine needles in there. The pine needles are going to take forever to break down. They will eventually, but it's going to take forever. Got like little spring tails moving around. The Earth, nature's cleanup crew doing its job. Let's go. I'm disturbing these guys. I know I am, but they gonna be alright. You have to mix up the material. The stuff that's on top will never make it to the bottom if we don't get it there. I'm also seeing what they eating on. Don't put citrus fruit in the worm bin. Man, I wouldn't put a lot though. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying just throw caution to the wind and act like these people don't know what they're talking about. But I ain't saying you have to be afraid. Moderation, baby. Name of the game. This is looking pretty good, but also looking pretty empty as far as food. And we see a few pieces here and there. A lot of worms, though. That's what I'm talking about. So what we'll do, we'll get them a little bit of food since they're doing so well. And let's go get it. All right, you know what? When we finish that worm bin, I was gonna check the rest of them, but I really need to check the one up under there because that's the one I'm trying to revive or revitalize. Maybe see when we're having some more rain. I want to move that thing out here with the rest of his peoples. All right, let's see what we got. See, look at the whole bag of gas. See, it makes me mad. But that's my fault because I end up putting this stuff somewhere in the fridge that I, you know, neglect to come back to. I'm going to start juicing these. You know what? That's the answer right there. Just juice. You don't have to bury this stuff deep. Composting worms like red worms only work in the top couple of inches of the soil anyway. Underneath them, you have the earthworms. They work a little bit deeper. They compost as well. They just don't compost as fast as red ones. They don't replicate. They don't reproduce as fast either. And all this is just to keep it from getting too much rain and water and block out the sun. Worms are photosensitive. They do not like bright light. Bright light. Let's take this with me. I'll prepare the trash can. I'll drop this off. Let's do. Walking. Let's see if I can drag this thing while walking. I don't know if it's too heavy, just an awkward pull. Oh, sheesh. It's heavy. It's heavy, Sam. Sam, come on, help me. It's heavy. Somebody come help this dude. It's heavy. Yep, it's an awkward pull. You need to take full steps. All right, let me go grab a seat because I'm lazy. I hope everybody's doing all right this morning. If I hadn't said, I don't think I have. Hope everybody's off to a great day. Getting their day started. Head to work. Headed to the office. Headed not to the office. Oh, there's your comings and goings. Create my own echo. All right. My bad. Let's turn this around. I'm debating. Do this. How to do this. How to put you guys at a position to where you could probably see this. First things first. Let's just do this. Take the top off this thing. I hadn't looked in here in like a week. I don't know what's going on. I assumed it didn't get rained in. Oh, we see a big worm. See a bunch of worms. And I thought this bin was dead. So this is how we're gonna do this. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna think this through. Two things has happened. This is an established worm bin. This is what I'm trying to revitalize. Like, honestly, I probably should scoop all this out. And this is what I'm trying to start. Start a new one. Oh, that's it. I can't even pick that other one up. I mean, I could. Really worried about breaking the plastic. It's kind of heavy. That's what I'm getting. Let's take it back here. So you kind of see what's going on, right? All right, we're gonna go ahead and check this one. See what we're looking like. And I'll bring you guys in closer. See, I don't even know if I put worms. I want to say I did. But we're gonna find out in a hot second. It did worm. Look. Oh, this stuff is super moist now. So I'm thinking water was dripping from the tin roof of this lean-to inside the house. And it was dripping in here because I didn't put this. Don't look bad though. I think that's what they call like field capacity. I can't even get but like a drop of water out of here. That's not a lot of water. That's actually the amount. That is actually the amount of water they tell you to do this to. You want to do it to field capacity. What that means is you squeeze and barely get a drop of water out. Don't know where that comes from, but that's what field capacity seems to be there. Now the thing is, we put worms. I don't see any, so I don't think we do. Yeah, I don't think we put any worms in there. So we're gonna go ahead and put. You guys get to start a worm bin. Now all I've done with this is add peat moss in here, some some bedding material, which is strips of paper towel tubes, um, toilet roll, and I've added a little bit of food and a handful of not a handful, like a pinch of the actual castings because the castings has the bacteria that'll get this started. So I inoculated the soil with some food and some compost from the worms to get this whole process started. And now, as I see that, 'cause I don't see any worms in here, which is cool. What we're gonna do is find some worms, and we're gonna add a few to it. This is why you don't want to use a lot of chicken. You get a lot of red. Do they cause a problem? I don't think so. But it's just one of them things. If you know, husbandry of your worms. If you don't really want anything else in there competing with them or that could possibly cause a problem. But when this stuff becomes anaerobic because of too much moisture, not enough air, oh, it stinks to high heaven. Uh-oh. I don't see no worms. Not a good thing. Our housekeeping practices are not good. I don't see any worms. Uh-oh. I let this thing go too far. Start this over. Okay, I do see a couple. It's not totally devoid of worms, but that's not a good. That looks. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed with how many worms I see in there. Not a lot. So I really have some work to do as far as reestablishing my worms. So what we're gonna do is dig around in this bin. We're gonna find some worms. Like I said, we're trying to revitalize this. I see a few. Oh, I should have got eggshell. Eggshell is used for grit for worms to help them break the food down in their stomachs. So smaller particular, so smaller particles. So I put a few worms in there. There was a few in there. There's a few in here, right? Bro, I thought this worm bin was dead. Last year I totally neglected this bin. I didn't feed this bin out one time. I never took it out the garage. I don't know how they survived. I know it got over 100 degrees. But anyway, you put some worms in here, a couple of handfuls. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the camera so you guys can kind of see before they duck down because of the sun. And and just let me know. I'm gonna take my worm bin Wednesday a little bit more seriously, so I can go ahead and revitalize that. I'm gonna try to fix this. Definitely going to fix this. And as you can see, there are a few little worms, and more than that, of course. These are just the ones that are on top. Just to let you know that I have placed worms in this bin. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna move this somewhere else though. Keeping them right there is cool, but I can't keep them there when it rains because the rain actually does get in there. That lean-to roof is not leak proof, right? You know what I'm saying? It's a tin roof. They use nails and screws to drive them to the 2x4 that support you. Okay, so we're gonna call this down right here, right? This that's little plastic that I'm putting on top is only to retain moisture. That's what it's for. The moisture gonna hit the plastic, condensate, condense, and then it's gonna drip back down. You know what I'm sad about this though? So this thing ain't gonna say it was thriving, it was looking alright. I just gotta fix it. So we'll go ahead and start fixing this. I'm gonna debate. You know what I'm gonna do with this here? With this here, what I'm gonna do is days in which I know it's not going to rain, I'm going to leave the top off and leave it in the sun. What's gonna happen is the top layer is gonna start to dry out, and then I'll dry from the top to the bottom. Now, at some point, it's gonna force all the worms to the bottom bin. That's alright. I can collect them there and put them back in. But I want to use this compost because for the most part, this is done as it's gonna. I'm gonna let it get. Could it go a little bit further? Yeah, it could. But this is as far as I want it to go. I'm gonna go ahead and use it. So I need to be able to get the worms out of it. And the way I do that is, like I just said, leave the top off. The worms don't like it. They're gonna go down to the bottom. It's gonna dry out. It's gonna take a couple of weeks for it to dry out. Um, but that's gonna be the plan. And then for this bin, I think I'm gonna just start all the way over. Like I think whatever bed materials in there, I'm gonna add it to the compost bin, to the worm bins on the outside of the fence. And then I'm gonna just start this bin over with a couple of handfuls of worms. And that's kind of how I started the first time. I just grabbed some worms out of there, dropped it in there, and just say, hey, I wonder if I could do these separately. And I can. So that's what I'm gonna do. I need to ramp up my vermicompost. Vermicompost is worm compost. I need to ramp that up. All right. Now that we've done with that, what we're gonna look at what time it is. Today is Wednesday. I try to water on Wednesdays and Saturdays if at all possible. So today is water your garden Wednesday for me. All right. All right. So we're gonna use some worm tea. I'm also going to. I'm debating. Some of the crops we're gonna mix in some fish fertilizer in the buckets with the worm tea. Um, those being the heavy feeders. So the brassicas, all of these are going to get 4 tablespoons of fish fertilizer to a gallon. So I'm gonna put 5 gallons. I'm gonna put 5 gallons of liquid in there, and so I put in 20 tablespoons of fish emulsion in that 1 gallon container. All of these gonna get 4 tablespoons a gallon. Not all of these. The collards and the collards, the garlic, celery will also get that same treatment. Everything else will get normal treatment. It'll get 2 tablespoons a gallon. So how that works is how I plan on doing it. I'm gonna mix up the 4 tablespoons to a gallon in that orange container or the blue container. I also add my inoculants, my antibiotic shots as far as the compost tea. And we're gonna water everything with that first. And if there's any left over, we'll dilute it back down to 2 to 1, a 2 to 1 ratio of fertilizer. It's math, right? Nobody coming here to do math. But that's what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead. We got a couple minutes. I guess we'll go ahead and start on that, right? We'll go ahead and start on that. So first things first is here's the bedding material that I use for those worm bins. I've been stripping it up. See some of these. strips that I've cut in pieces of bag I've torn. You don't have to do this, but the smaller you make the pieces, the easier it is for the worms to eat. First things first, let's get a gallon. Let's get a gallon of this good stuff. We got a gallon of this. Ooh, look at that color. Why they call it tea, baby? Get a gallon of mince. All right, we got a gallon of that. And then we're gonna put, man, I don't want to count that much. We're gonna put 20 tablespoons. Yeah, 4 to a gallon, 20 tablespoons for 5 gallons. Man, I think a tablespoon is what, a half an ounce, right? A tablespoon is half an ounce. So 2 tablespoons is an ounce. I need 10 tablespoons, so I need 5 ounces. Like that math I could do. This is 8 ounces. That's 4 right there. So we're gonna rock like that. Get it some shape. See if I can open this with one hand. Hold on, you too close to my teeth. Let me take another squeeze. All right, I'm gonna mix this stuff up, and then maybe water one plant, and then I'm gonna go ahead and sign on off. Yeah, so I like keep my gloves on. This stuff smell like fish. All right, we need what I say 5 ounces. That's 4 ounces. Oh, that's 4 ounces. We're gonna call that 5. Is that 5? All right. Close enough, man. It's close enough. We're gonna drop this in here. All the other good stuff. Yep. And I don't really want to put that in there like that. We're gonna go ahead and grab the water hose and we'll rinse that out. Got my ready-made siphon. I say that. Depends on how much water is in this barrel too. Feel like very full. No pink. Terrell said let there be water. And it was good. That's doing that. Let's put you guys like right here. I'm gonna need both hands for a hot second. Appreciate y'all for stopping by this morning. I really do. Watching me on my nerd adventures. My nerd gardening adventures. Let's do this. I got to finish getting my finish getting my stream fleshed all out. I had some interactive stuff so y'all ain't just bored while watching and give y'all something to do. Let y'all play Pokemon or something like that. I have to be a better host for you guys. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. All right, so when it's finished, I thought we were gonna have time, but this thing is running a little slower. What you want to get what you pay for and get a cheap water hose, right? I don't need this. This only gonna be just. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it. It's not gonna work out how you think. But anyway, now when we finish with this, I guess I'll let y'all look at me, man, for a minute. When we finish with this, here's what happened, right? The compost tea will be mixed at a ratio of 4 to 1, right? When I say 4 to 1, there's 1 part worm tea, 4 parts water to give you 5 gallons. Okay, mix it 5 to 1 in a 5 gallon container, right? I also mix the fish emulsion at double strength for the heavy feeders of the garden. So it's 4 tablespoons a gallon. For the heavy feeders, all the brassicas, I'm pointing at the bed with the camera, and y'all looking at me. All the brassicas in this bed, the cauliflower, the 2 rows of cauliflower, the 2 rows of cauliflower, 2 rows of cabbage. The 2 rows of Brussels sprouts? What I did? 2 rows of Brussels sprouts. Yeah, I did. And the 2 rows of broccoli. Those are all heavy feeders. Like I said, the collard greens, the garlic, heavy feeder. The celery, they say, is a heavy feeder and drinker. So they're going to all get the 4 by. I'm calling it the 4 by strength. right? The full-time strength. It's really twice strength, ain't full-time, twice strength. Everything else is just gonna get to normal. Pretty soon, I'm gonna quit with the fish fertilizer. The fertilizer that I placed yesterday is an organic fertilizer. It's supposed to last 3 months, and I think the formulation for that was like 8.5, 8.7. Remember, I gotta remember 7.57. So that's it's not quite balanced. If it was balanced, it'd be 7.77, but that's close enough, right? So we're gonna see how that work out. This is just done. So just know today what I'm doing is watering the garden first, and once I finish with that, I gotta work with some more transplants to get ready for the farmers market. Make sure I have everything ready for the farmers market. Everything is transplanted out and doing well, getting ready to be sold. But anyway, let me get off this thing. It's time to get up out of here. So y'all already know, right? I appreciate you guys for showing up. It means more to me than you'll ever know. Create more than you consume. I don't have to suck at this because I do. Have a good one, all right? Peace.